Blessings and salutations to my AFBC family. I am Apostle Dr. C. Spears, the overseer and founder of God's Precious Design Ministries, and I want to welcome you to another segment of The Door is Open. So come on in and let's have a coffee break with God. Now, it has been a little while since I have been in your presence, and some things have taken place, and I'm not feeling my best, but I feel like I needed to just show up and share something that the Father has been sharing with me while I sit here and try to recover from what the old serpent tried to put me through. Yes, the old serpent came for me, but we'll get to that shortly. I first want to just thank everyone that's tuning in, that's been returning. I appreciate your support and in your ear to hear what God has to say. And if you're new to the channel, by all means, feel invited to click the notification and subscribe so that you won't miss any other segment that the Father has through The Door is Open, okay? Also, I love comments and love feedback, so please feel free to share any thoughts that you may have as well. This may be all over the place. I have a lot of things in my head that I want to discuss, but I'm going to try to not make this too long, okay? So let's just kind of dive on in. I was talking to the Lord about squatting. God was telling me that the old serpent likes to try to squat. And just like in the natural, how we don't know our rights, our civil rights sometimes, we don't know our rights in the spirit realm either. How we can actually evict the old serpent, that we are the disguise that he wears. You know how we walk around here and we see people. But in actuality, all we're going to see is two things on the earth. We're going to see people that are either bearing good fruit, or we're going to see people that are just producing the works of the flesh. That's it. You're not going to see anything else. And then according to what you see is how you're going to respond to that individual. See, the word says that you shall know them by their fruit, or lack of fruit. Okay? We're going to try the Spirit by the Spirit. But what spirit are we trying them by? Well, see, remember Jesus told the disciples when they were concerned about him leaving them. He said, I will petition my Father for a comfort and a guide in my absence. See, that's the spirit that we have. So when the word says God did not give us a spirit of fear or anxiety or stress, it's because when Jesus asked for a comfort and a guide, that is a type of spirit that he asked to give us. So yes, if you're feeling fright, fear, anxious, confusion, that is not the spirit that Jesus asked to walk alongside of us in his absence. He asked for a comfort and a guide. So when you are going through something and you're stressing or you're frightened or, that comfort, see that peace that surpasses all understanding, that is the spirit that Jesus asked his Father to give us in his absence. Amen. And so when you're feeling out of place, out of pocket, you don't understand that is not God. See, the old serpent shows up all the time, attempting to squat, sit somewhere he has no business. The word says that God created man for his own pleasure. But see, when the old serpent got kicked out of his sacred place, the word said he was left to wander in desolate places to find no rest. So then there we were, and he was tired, and he was hungry, and he needed a place to rest. And so he decided to check to see if we, this creation, would allow him to rest, to squat. And because we don't know our spiritual rights, we allow it. We allow him to rest. And we think nothing much of it until things start getting out of whack. And we start experiencing confusion. And we start feeling out of place. And we start feeling not aligned with God. And it's because we allowed an infectious bacteria, disease, or cancer into ourselves. We allowed it to move in. We gave it a key. We gave it responsibilities, and we allowed it to dwell with us. And we don't understand why everything is so messed up, but that's it. And if we go back and we reflect and we do as the word instructs us to do, which is examine ourselves, we can actually go back to a place where we see where we allowed him to move in. And all we have to do is give him his eviction papers. That's all we have to do. See, with a squatter in the natural, they call the police. The police comes and tells the individual why they can't be there. They're trespassing, da-da-da-da-da, okay? And they get a warning, and they need to leave. But in the spiritual, the same action takes place. I call it calling 711 instead of 911. See, I'm going to call 711. And Michael and Gabriel is going to show up. Going to tell the old serpent, you are trespassing. You're not allowed to be here. And you should leave on your own. But if not, then they're going to advise me, the homeowner, what steps I would have to take to get him out. Now, I'm going to go to the courts, which is my father. I'm going to come back with some eviction papers. And I'm going to speak the truth in the name of Jesus, that you get thee behind me, that you get out, that you be removed. And then, if you don't, then the angels will come, according to Revelations, and wrap a chain around your neck and drag you out of my house and then put you in a pit for some time. Because see, there is a sentence. There's a sentence that comes along with this infraction of squatting somewhere you have no business. See, God has the ability to invoke a sentence on the old serpent. You know, anyone that comes against you, speaking against you, this is why no weapon formed against you shall prosper, and no spoken curse shall prevail. See, you can try to come against a child of God. You can try to come against a kingdom personnel, someone working for the kingdom, speaking that truth out here, sharing that gospel with the people, out here trying to build kingdom, you know. You can attempt to come against, you can try to harm me, but you will not ever be successful. See, you came for me. You came for me. You had me flat on my back, looking up at 7 angels that came to get me out of my house. And you put me in an ambulance and took me to the emergency room, and you still tried to fight with me. But God didn't let you do that. And I am still here. See, so we can prevail and we can overcome. God is who he say he is. And he has not forsaken or left us. And even though it feels like that sometimes, Because this walk is not easy. Not even a little bit. Even though you feel all alone, understand, when you call 711, and I call that calling out to the Father, He will send you help, because He sit high and look low. And the word said that Israel called out to God from whence He said He heard them, and He sent them help. You don't have to walk in perfection. You don't have to be eloquent in your speech. All you have to do is know that when you call on God, He will respond. He will show up. He will send you help. It doesn't matter if it's wearing a white coat or no coat or a pair of jeans or a skirt or a toddler. It doesn't matter. Just know that God uses who He seems fit and who is willing to be used to assist you in your time of need. God is awesome. Even when you're going through, in the middle of your storm, you can summons peace. You can. At some point, you can stop being scared and frantic, because understand, what happened to me scared me. I first panicked, but I had to remember the comfort and the guide that Jesus asked the Father to give me in His absence. And I understood that panicking was not the spirit that God had given me. Panicking is not the authority that I walk in. That's not stepping on the scorpion's head and the serpent. That's not treading in the fire. That's not Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego in the furnace. That's not Daniel in the lion's den. And that is not Joseph sitting in prison because of something that he did not do. See, even I had to dig deep in my situation, in my storm, in the midst of all the foolishness and all the franticness, and grab hold of the comfort that only God could give me. And then so I can hear the instruction of call 911, go unlock the door. I didn't know that I was going to pass out and be unconscious. I didn't know that. I didn't know that I was going to be on my bathroom floor. Didn't know that. But God knew. And if I had not took hold of that peace that slowed me down from freaking out from what I was seeing, I would have never been able to hear the instructions. Call 911 and go unlock the door. I'd have never heard it. And my situation or my outcome may have been different. Who knows? It's something that I don't have to even think about right now, because I didn't. I did take hold of the comfort. I did hear the instruction, and I applied it and did what I was needed to do in my moment so that the outcome could be favorable for me. And the old serpent wouldn't have been able to accomplish what he was trying to accomplish. I don't know who this is for, but I tell you what, the old serpent fought real hard to keep me from even sharing it with you today. So I know it's going to encourage someone to sit still and be comforted and guided by God in their time of need, in their time of stress, panic, being frantic, anxious. We don't have to walk in fear. We know that the God we serve sees all and hears all, omnipotent and omnipresent. And He will guide you and keep you. He'll keep you safe. He will. He'll keep you with a heads up. He'll do you like He did David when David was hiding from Saul. He always kept David one step ahead. Saul was never allowed to put one finger on David. But he was out there. David was out there with God. In the wilderness running. And that's us. We're out there with God. We need to be. We need to be. It's the safest place to be, even though it seems like it's not. We feel vulnerable. We feel open. But actually, it's the safest place to be.